All right. And happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
And welcome to the back catalog listening party. My name is Mother Banjo, one of your hosts.
My name is Anthony Ihrig, the other host.
And today we're being joined by Vance
Oh,
Gilbert.
we on! We on! Oh my goodness, I didn't know we was on! Oh Lord!
Oh, man.
Sorry about that. I was.
And this is why we do the show. We like to capture artists in their natural habitat.
That's right,
And,
flossing.
Exactly, doing all the stuff. And whether you are flossing or maybe cracking open a beverage after a long, hellishly long week, I don't know about you, but I'm ready for this back catalog listening party.
Me too.
This is gonna be This is gonna be fun for somebody.
It's going to be fun for me anyway.
Yeah, me too. And we have a couple friends out there already. We have Connie in Richfield. Hey, Connie.
Hi, Connie.
And our friend Chris. Hey, Chris. You're enjoying a Paisley Hazy IPA from Badger Hill. That sounds delicious, Chris.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. And Tony, what are you drinking on this Friday afternoon?
I'm going back to Michigan with the Bell's Porter.
Nice.
Nice wintry brew. How about you?
Nice.
I got a jar of dihydrogen oxide. There you go.
There you go. And then it looks like Joe is having John Prine, as per usual, in South Minneapolis.
Hey,
And
Joe.
I am drinking a new concoction I've been enjoying recently, which is it's kind of a twist on a gin and tonic. It's actually gin and fresca, but it's
Whoa.
delicious.
Gin and fresca.
Yeah, it's awesome because
Oh
it's
my-
grapefruit and it's like, but not sweet, and it's really nice.
Oh
right.
my gosh.
I thought you might be drinking something out of a coconut today.
I know. So I did just get back from Hawaii on Sunday, and I have to say, it was a lovely trip, and I was sad to miss all of you the last couple weeks, but yeah, I couldn't bring back the coconuts with me. You know, there's that weird thing, you can't bring agricultural products back onto the mainland. So
Right.
I'm stuck with my can of Fresca and my bottle of gin. But it looks like we have some more folks joining. My mom from Connecticut and Craig. So great to have you here. Thunderbird
Yeah,
and Tab.
Craig's a friend of mine. Thunderbird.
Wow. We're getting some crazy drinks today.
Go,
All right,
Craig,
now
man.
it's a challenge. Okay,
Craig,
people.
I'm gonna smack Craig next time I see him. Thunderbird. and Tab.
Tab is hard to find now, too.
Yeah,
So
I
Oh
didn't
my
realize it was still being made.
I didn't think so either, Anthony. I didn't know it was a thing.
okay, now we have to have a contest every week for the weirdest drink of people
Yep.
tuning in. And Elizabeth, Betsy joining us. Thank you for joining us, Betsy.
Oh, Betsy! Yay!
Yeah.
Another
So-
old friend of mine.
Tab is hardcore. I love
That's
that.
great.
Well, we are excited for today's show again. After a crazy week, there's nothing better than to be here with all of you to enjoy music. And if you're new to the show, this is where we invite different artists to join us and dig into their back catalog, bring out one of their older records to dust it off, talk about it, and we want you to ask questions, offer comments as we listen to the music. And I'm excited about this album, Vance, because you have a big body of work, and but you chose this album. It came out for you. It's probably still feels new, but it came out in 2020, so it is a couple years old now.
Yeah, it's strange, mother, because it's just I still can't figure out what they call it. Mother, strange mother. I'm in a strange part because I've written a whole new album since then, but it's still a new album when it comes to the disseminating it to the masses kind of thing. So it's kind of a weird in between Piltdown Man Lucy kind of not quite human, not quite Australopithecine kind of, kind of in between everything. I don't know why I used all that as a metaphor, but I would love to look at it because it was sort of the culmination of a lot of listening that a lot of writing and musicking that I've been doing over the last 30 years. And it just, things came to a screeching halt. The album came out January 24th, 2020.
Yep.
And we went to take it on the road beginning of March. And the next thing I knew, I was home.
Sorry, I've been waiting all week to use that one.
Oh my God. That couldn't be better. It couldn't be better. That's
Well, Go ahead.
perfect.
Well, Vance, I just for those you mentioned your 30 years of playing and performing and writing. Our audience comes from a lot of different kind of genres, and for those who aren't familiar with your work, could you just give those folks like the 50,000 foot 30-second bio, where you come from, how you got into music, and then where this album we're going to listen to today kind of fits in your musical timeline?
Sure. If you were to take a mix of, oh man, you're going to make me do this.
Yes.
Hit me.
I've got more sound effects here.
I bet you do. I got some sound effects here too, Andy. You know what I'm saying. You're gonna keep this PG over here. I'm a old man. I can come up with that in like 5 seconds.
Built in, yes.
That's it, built in, baby. If you were to, oh my gracious me, if take James Taylor and Al Green and a splash of Joni Mitchell or Sean Colvin and Louis Jordan.
That's good.
That's about right for what you've probably heard. I mean, I try to write stuff that has rich lyrical content. I wanted to either groove or swing and have feels that come from like the best of bluegrass or Celtic or R&B, and I might even do something kind of Celtic or might even rap. So the very thing that I celebrate in my music is maybe the thing that makes it so that somebody in a greater strata of music go like, well, I can't decide what he is, or he can't decide what he is. Let's move on to somebody else. So that's where I am.
Well, it's the kind of thing that we love here on Back Catalog Listening Party, because Anthony and I like to listen to all kinds of music, and so we love it.
And I thought I got it wrong when I looked at the thing here. I thought it said Black Catalog Listening Party. I thought that's why you were having me. Then all of a sudden you two show up. I thought it was going to be black people with names like Mother Banjo. I was like, oh snap, that's got to be a sister. And Anthony Ihrig. I just thought, he's gonna be sporting a feather.
That's my stage name. Yeah,
you're right. Kind of a non-binary cat. I don't know. So I wasn't sure what it was going to be. Then you folks showed up, and I heard the pre-show music, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, okay is okay.
Banjo.
Exactly. Yeah. Lots of banjos. And where are you from, Vance? I know you're based in Massachusetts these days.
Yes. I'm originally from the Philadelphia area, and I've been in Massachusetts since 1979.
All right.
Right out of college. I went to school in Connecticut. I got my degree in biology and put it to great use right away. I became a cook in the Boston area, and then decided that playing jazz and folk music was the way to make hundreds and hundreds of dollars yearly. So here I am.
Well, and you're still doing it today, which we are so grateful for, and we're excited to dig into this record. And let's give some folks some music. What do you think?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm here.
So the first track that you chose to pick from the album we are going to be featuring today, Good Man, is Pie and Whiskey, two things that I am in full support of. Is there anything you want to say about the song before we listen, or you just want to talk about it afterwards?
No, let's just talk about it afterwards. Go ahead and throw it down, as it were.
All right.
Put the needle down, Tony.
Well, I just want to, before we start, we had a couple comments. People were really excited, I think, to see Vance, and I just wanted you can just keep those coming, folks. Mm-hmm. This is a community, and this is a informal Friday afternoon listening party. So don't be shy in the comments if you hear something you like during the song. Let Vance know. This is Pie and Whiskey here on the Back Catalog Listening Party.
You can live on pie and whiskey, but you surely won't live too long. One is as sweet as your very first kiss, the other gonna go down strong. Neither one will sustain when the other make your belly lame and go all wrong. You can live on pie and whiskey, but you surely won't live too long. You can sing yourself a lullaby like your mama sang to you. Hers was just like ringing a bell. Yours is like a worn-out shoe. She had a voice just like a heart. Yours just like leather nails and blue. You can sing yourself a lullaby like your mama sang to you. No tomorrow, but yesterday that's come and gone. Hijack the pie and the whiskey, kidnap your mama's soul. Oh, but why don't you are made for walking? You better get walking, ain't gonna be here long. You can cry, cry, cry like no tomorrow. You can sing yourself a lullaby. Yes, you can. You can live on pie and whiskey, but you surely won't live too long.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That goes down easy. Pie and
Ah,
Whiskey.
it
Vance
sure does.
Gilbert here on the back catalog listening party from his 2020 release, Good Good Man, which we are revisiting today with the man himself. And I'm going to make sure he's unmuted here. Let's see.
Yeah,
Gary.
I just I can listen to this. I can listen to it. That's just such a good sign. You know, I hear notes slipping around like they've done on the previous 12, 13 albums. Yes, I hear the notes slipping around, but they're slipping around in the right places now. They're not, you know, it's just, I'm so, you know, how do I, without sounding arrogant, how do I express my joy at this album? I'm just thrilled with what came up there. And that was me crooning. It's like it as if Hank Williams and Brooke Benton were like doing a thing together, you know. And you'd say, well, you know, Ray Charles did that with Modern Sounds and Country and Western Music Volumes 1 and 2, you know. But you know, with the whole orchestra and everything else, maybe it's kind of in line with that. I sure don't sing like Brother Ray, but I just, you know, there's a little philosophy going on in the tune. I feel like the tune is well written. I'm playing decent guitar on it, and it's grooving.
Mm.
And what else is there? What
Well,
else is there?
I would say echo everything you just said, and I also it's such a treat because so many artists when they come on the show and they listen to their old records, a lot of times, they maybe haven't listened to it in a long time, and I think people are often pleasantly surprised. They're like, "Oh, yeah, this is actually pretty good."
Oh,
And
yeah, that's
and I love that. Probably one of our other guests who I know Jonathan Brooke, when she was on, she was like, "Yeah," like she was all excited
yeah.
by everyone else's parts that were on it. And I will say that is one thing that I was really noting as we went on, like the way the song builds in the production. It felt like right away it's like, oh, this sounds beautiful, and then it's like, and then the organ, and then that electric guitar, and then the strings, and then the background vocals, and it does have this the orchestration, as you said, it does have a kind of a classic feel to it.
Oh, that's I was shooting for the 60s and 70s
Yeah.
with a big cannon, And thank you, because you're talking to the producer too. So my
Oh,
I was gonna ask
sensibilities,
about that. Yeah.
yeah, man, my sensibilities were I think they were on the money. I think they're on the money with that. I will say that originally arranging the strings for a bunch of this stuff, the person that arranged and played the strings sent me a note back saying, I said, I'm looking for this. And I sent examples of things that I liked. And they were like some old Brooke Benton, or Lala Means I Love You by the Delphonics, with the, that sort of trilling. And they said, yeah, I can cover that. And then they wrote me back and said, I don't hear it. And I said, and I wrote back and I said, well, I need you to hear it. I need you to hear what I'm hearing.
Right.
And they said, well, maybe you should have somebody else do this. I said, make another pass at it with me. And that's what they came up with. We actually moved a couple things around production-wise. But it's exactly what I heard in my head.
Well,
Can't
Mary
get
says
any better
there's
than that.
so many great notes in the right places there.
Yeah,
Right.
somebody read that. Mark, Mary Evanoff. Thank you, Mary. That's very cool that you would say that. That comes with time. That comes with any fledgling singer-songwriting people out there. That is something that comes with age. I don't have to sing at every moment. Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
And I would love to know who else is singing with you, doing those harmony vocals. Is that, is there another Vance in there, or are there other friends you invited in?
Those the oohs and the little shadow lines were last minute before mixing, and they're all me. Those are me.
Well, then it's no wonder they blend so well with you.
No, there is wonder at that, because I am the worst at that. I am the worst. But I heard this stuff in my head. I heard it, and I said, that needs to go on there. And I'm not ready to run out and hire a bunch of people, so. But thank you. Yeah, it was, oh my God, I love me. I'm so good.
That's the kind of self-love we need today here, and justified.
Yes, and but speaking of the production, did you bring in any other, is this like a Prince situation? Are you playing all the instruments,
no,
or did you bring in other people? Okay.
I'm just the acoustic guitar there. That's Tommy Malone from the Subdudes on the lead guitar. The organ is split between Brad Hatfield. He's a local guy that arranges for the Boston Symphony, and he did the strings too. And Al Green's organist, Stacy Wade. So those are the famous people in there. Craig Aiken is on bass from Craig Aiken is from Red Molly. His wife is in Red Molly, and then there's Marco Giovino, who he's a monster. He's just and he lives about 40 miles from me here, and he's just terrific. It was just vocals and guitar, and we added everything else afterwards, which was it speaks to the unbelievable capabilities of the people that came and played on this album to keep that swinging and feeling good.
Yeah, it was still like in the pocket. That is really hard to achieve in those situations where you're layering.
You ain't kidding. So that was more of me getting out of the way. All right, is everything grooving really good? All right, then I'll put the guitar down on it now. So, yeah.
Well, it sounds awesome. And this is so fun to shine the spotlight on this album that, again, got a little
Oh, this
short
is
shrift coming
what
out
a
in 2020.
It did. It did. Thank you, mother Jones, whatever your name is, mother Banjo. Shoot,
Oh, yeah.
I know I'm end up swearing and saying your name.
Oh, well, it's gonna, if it happens, it happens. Luckily, we are not on the radio, so we're not held to much of a standard here.
That's it. Hey,
Yeah,
how long
internet
did we
standard.
go to? Did we go for an hour? Is that how
Yeah,
long?
we go for an hour. So,
Oh,
which means that we should
yay.
jump into more music because
Yay,
we want to
come
make sure
on.
we want to get through as many songs as we can. We were talking
Okay.
before we came on, and we're gonna just try and get to as many as we can.
Okay.
So, this next one is "Good Good Man," the title track. What can you say about this good song?
Woo, girl, you better get ready to slow dance. You better get ready to slow dance a bit. Yeah.
Oh, so anything else you want to say, or is that about it?
This is no. Go ahead and roll this one, and you'll see I was still in that same vibe, still chasing
Okay.
that same thing.
All right. Well, let's give it a listen. Good, good man. Vance Gilbert here on the Back Catalog Listening Party.
Oh yeah, now. Wish I was a good man, standing with your hand in mine, doing everything just right. How happy we would be. Instead, you're looking at a no good fool, giving him the sad eye, doing what your good book tells you. You see a man in need. I don't want your charity. You ain't got a toe that mine. If I had a different history, tell me, would it make you mine? If I was a good man. If I was a good man. If I was a good man. Pity on a simple mind. We make a lot of bad mistakes. We never seem to roll a level. Never seem to catch a break. And I've done things there's no excuse for. Ain't no way to turn back time. Busy trying to fix tomorrow by leaving yesterday behind. I hear you come confusing love and forgiveness, making me some special case. If you didn't have to save me, would you love me anyway? If I was a good man, oh Lord, now. If I was a good man, if I was a good man, oh.
Oh yeah, that's what
What?
I
What?
Sounds so
Come
good.
on now.
needed. So good.
Come on. I mean, it's
Oh.
it's a it was a dream come true. The background vocals are one is a neighbor's boy that ended up at Berkeley School of Music. Another young lady who was a dance major at what college is she? In up in Maine, and the third vocalist is the woman that's down the hall from here now, editing her book. My partner, and I co-arranged the vocals with them. Tommy Malone again on one of the electric guitars. The other electric guitar is me. We decided not to go with an acoustic guitar on that and just keep it full, smooth R&B, and it was a lot of fun. It was like those of you who are guitar people out there or not, it's like one of those silver tones, just like had the real funky kind of sound, and I had to tune it every 16 bars, so that had to go down. Yeah, it was a mess. It was a mess, but we got it
the
down.
truth.
Well, it doesn't
And-
sound like a mess. I can tell you that.
It's just.
A
And
lot of-
then, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, then same string arranger, and he added a lot of keyboards and harp, and he says, "I'm going to throw some extra things," and I was like, "Oh, okay, great." And it came back, and it was just like sparkled with pixie dust. He got this one. He understood this one. And I see people talking about, Craig Nixon's talking about Quiet Storm, and somebody said Smokey covering and such. Honestly, part of that tune feels like could be covered by somebody like Jason Isbell or Chris Stapleton. Sort of country guys that sing with a certain soul sensibility. But yeah, it's in a lot of ways it is sort of still straight up smooth R&B. It just
Well, and it's also complex music. I mean, there's a lot going on there. I'm listening to the arrangements. I think I heard a key change in there. I think I read on your website, I was doing a little research here, that you might have started out as a jazz singer. Is this correct?
Oh yeah.
I'd love to hear about that background and how it influences your current writing and albums like this.
Well, it's the lugubrious, fluid, improvisational aspects of jazz that I think always captured me even as a kid. And that has just stuck. I used to play cocktail places and play, the Great American Songbook, and that was me with, I don't know, 500 to 1,000 songs at recall, without a book in front of me. And those days are gone because I've gotten old. I can barely remember what I've written. Yeah, but no, I could still pull up a fair amount of jazz standards when I needed to and such. And I was doing that. Came out of college doing that, and then somebody, I played a couple coffee houses here and there, and I was like, well, I want to do this jazz solo thing. I wanted to be like Al Jarreau with Earl Klugh on guitar. It was like that was my thing, and then somebody took me to a concert, and it was Sean Colvin. And from that day on, I wanted to be a 5'6" white woman. And she had everything. The songwriting was great. Her voice was perfect for what she was doing. She's an unheralded guitar player. Her time is anybody that records a solo album live at the bottom line, and then they go back and add like drums and basses, like without moving all kinds of stuff around. That's how tight she is with what she's doing. But yeah, so that was my evolution, so to speak. I mean, I went through stages where in a given portion of a year, I'd be listening to Charlie Parker, the Dial Sessions, and then I would spin incessantly June Tabor and Matty Pryor's No More to the Dance. So I was like, I was all over the map, that those are my influences. I just great live sounding music, anything that tells a story.
Mhm.
Nice.
And Chris adds, Sean Colvin is in Minneapolis this May. That's right. Maybe you should crash the party. Well, you are welcome to join our party anytime, Vance, as is Sean. And I do want to mention
Well,
that.
I toured with Sean Colvin. I did a month on the road with her. So
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
that would be a crash.
Full
yeah,
circle.
you've kind of toured with like all the A-list singer-songwriters and played at a lot of the big folk festivals and all of that. And I think the first time I saw you, I was thinking back, and I think it was 1997 at Falcon Ridge was probably the first time I heard you perform and was introduced to your music. And I just heard this big voice coming out across the hillside, and I was like, who is that?
Nice.
And why is everyone nonstop laughing? And then I discovered the thing that was Vance Gilbert. And
Yeah, I'm
been a
100% going to
fan
go
of-
see Vance when he comes, if he ever comes back to Minneapolis here.
Oh, good.
It's so much fun. And I'm curious, like in like kind of the folk world, you don't always have these kind of big productions and electric guitars and drum sets and things. When you tour around with this stuff, I mean, I know you weren't doing much in the last couple of years, but before that, do you tour around with a big band like that, or is it just you and a guitar, or what?
Solo. I'm solo. I'm solo. This is a realization. I feel like, and some people say, oh, gee, there's so much production on your songs. Sometimes we would love to hear it, just you. And I get arrogant and I say, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't know what you want to hear when it comes to an album, because somebody doing solo on an album is a 1 or 2 time spin thing, because you've heard me solo, you hear this solo, and you're done. Here I give you something that is my concept of the ensemble, and yet still trying to maintain this real sense of music that I think the thing illuminates for me. So that's what I endeavor to do. Whether I'm always successful, is the cross to bear for anybody that puts out a produced album. But I really feel like there's, good man. It's fine when I do it solo, but it wouldn't stand up like that. It just wouldn't.
And it also gives you the opportunity to show all these wonderful musical influences and things that you can do on a recording that, as you said, you can't bring an orchestra with you on the road. So
No,
it's a really
exactly.
wonderful way of showing different sides of what you do. And I will say that if folks would like to see Vance do his solo thing, you will have that opportunity, because every Monday, right?
Yes.
You do your acoustic pajama party on YouTube live stream. And this one coming up is your 100th one. Is that correct?
Number 100. Yeah.
That-
Oh my God. Anthony, that's so stupid.
I've been called worse, yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, not you. That's just hysterical.
I love it. I'm sorry.
That's great, man. It's all right. It's great.
And if you want to get this album in its full glory, I just want to put a plug in for it, because we're hearing it. If you're listening, on YouTube, or maybe you're doing other things, making dinner or whatever, as you're listening to today's show, you'll definitely want to get I don't know if you still have CD copies, Vance, or if you can get it digitally. He's like,
They're
yes,
still in the box
please.
in the back of the car, ready to.
You can find it on the vilified Spotify.
You can find it on all the digital places for sure. And again, I bet if you ordered an album from Vance, maybe he'll sign it for you or give you some sort of important life message.
I always do that. I'm very personable about it. I've sent albums to people that had no money because they was like, well, my money's short. And I said, well, here, just please. They're just taking up my basement. What the hell am I? If your money's short and I have to step over them to get to the hose in the back of the basement, please take one of these bad boys.
Yeah.
And is your website the best place for them to pick that up?
Yeah, website is the epicenter for pretty much everything, as those things go. But yeah, sure, that's a good start.
I love that Craig says the new streaming platform is called Vilify.
Craig is a trip. We are probably going to be working together with some sort of promotion for the next album. He's a good cat. He's one of the he runs the list for Hayes Carl. He runs his list, and I'm going to put Craig to work doing something because he's a super fan and he's very knowledgeable. And Betsy is another old friend from the listening party. So from my listening party. So.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, and your listening party involves PJs, so it sounds like even more fun.
Yeah,
than what
you don't
do.
have to dress up or anything for mine. I sit here. Is it too much? Is it too much information that
No.
I don't have pants on when I'm okay? I said it. I said it.
You know, there's no shame in that. You know,
and yeah, exactly. And we're all. I mean, that's where we all are these days. You know?
right?
That's
exactly.
it. That's it.
All
Exactly.
business from the waist up.
Exactly.
That's it.
And despite what we said in the comments, it's purchasing Vance's music, not Dan's music, directly at vancegilbert.com.
Oh, sorry about that, folks.
No, it's
No, you buy Dan's music. Dan, who's Dan? Dan who?
probably last week's guest, I'm guessing.
Yes,
Lonesome
yes.
Dan Case. But we want to get to more music. So
Go ahead, spin it.
let's cue up the next one, which is Hitman. Again, this is from Vance Gilbert's 2020 release, Good Good Man, which we are revisiting today. Anything you want to hit us with before we hit Hitman?
Hitman is it's a story unfolding. I think it's me kind of heading towards my storytelling best. And it was a triumph for me in getting out of the way and keeping it tight with just a couple instruments.
Nice. All right, this is Hitman from Vance Gilbert here on the Back Catalog Listening Party.
I'll be 83 in August. I probably shouldn't drive at night. Add to that this rain slick road, even in the cracked headlight, is clearly just a fender bender. Sorry I ran into you. Here's a roll of $100 bills. Pretty certain that'll do. 80 years will give you wrinkles. Wrinkles never hide the eyes. Eyes are always a dead sure giveaway, even through the best disguise. Kid, you got the kind of face like I could tell you anything. It's been a long time between confessions and the peace that might bring. A good hitman learns to hide the powder burns. Pull the trigger in a glove, take another name forever. Take you the ones you love. I've been coaching Little League. I know all the children's names. There's nothing like my tulip garden or my toy electric trains. Then there came the Inglewood shootout. We all scattered with the wind like petals from a late spring dogwood, never to be seen again. That was back in '67. You think I'd settle far away? I keep a close eye on this city, 'cause this is who my Yankees play. Kid, you got the kind of face like I could tell you anything. It's been a long time between confessions and the peace that might bring. A good hitman learns to hide the powder burns. Pull the trigger in a glove. I take another name forever. Take you the ones you love. Someone's always got an axe to grind. Some kid I never seen before. Some son of a job I done. Some kid out to even the score. Maybe I'm a kitchen whisper when his mama's in her gin. Maybe #1 on his hit list. My good fortune running thin. You seem to be a nice young fellow, and I know it's getting late. No need to trouble 911. I memorize your license plate. Kid, you got the kind of face like I could tell you anything. It's been a long time between confessions and the peace that might bring. A good hitman learns how the powder burns. another name forever. Take you the ones you love.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That was Vance
That was
Gilbert
great.
with Hitman from his 2020 release, Good Good Man, which we are revisiting today on the back catalog listening party with Vance, the man himself. And, that song, I feel like that song shows that Sean Colvin kind of influenced a little bit more. Maybe.
Exactly. I think so too. I'm really proud of that tune because it's that individual. There's such a story there, and it's also another person I should mention that has really influenced me in the last 20 years or so was Richard Thompson. When he takes a character and he just keeps dressing this character and keeps sketching in a background for this character each time a chorus comes around, a little bit more about them, and you feel sorry for them, or you feel broken with them, or I think with this, the more you hear about this fellow, whoever it is, at 80 plus years old, he's scaring the shit out of you more and more as it goes by. He's getting
Wasn't just me.
Wait a minute. Hey, dude, you're supposed to be Eddie. Hey, whoa, So,
I also love the way the gnarly electric guitars and the musical tension at the latter part of the song really reinforces that whole idea. Like, you're getting more and more tense. Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy, that's Tommy Malone from the Subdudes again, and
so good.
He gets it.
Yeah.
He gets it. I mean, he gets me. I mean, I toured with them a bit, and they would have me sing with them at the end of their sets, and they're the nicest cats. They had to pull apart after the many years of doing what they were doing. They sort of split up, but it was great to be able to throw Tommy work because he's a beast. You could see. I mean, there was the tracks that he sent us back and forth to use. There was so much to use. It was eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It was. He's so good. He's so good.
Well, and it's so versatile because, again, the stuff that we heard on the first two tracks we heard today, which had that kind of warm 70s vibe, and then this kind of, this more attack kind of.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, it's really
This
good.
is kind of clawing at your skin, just a little teeny bit.
Yeah.
Vance, you mentioned that, you mentioned story. And when I was listening to that, I wondered if you do writing outside of music. Do you write short stories? Do you write fiction at all?
You would ask me that. I have, there's two books that I have yet to start writing. One of them is, I put out a mailer each week for my gigs. And there's a little bit of, there's always some of this in it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Falafel sizing. That's a piece of artwork by my friend Katie Cromit. She's one of my Monday night listeners, and it's always let's say it's imagine Heather. What's her name? Heather, three names that writes the daily columns on history versus what's going on in the world. You know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Sort of, but
we all turn to her for information these days.
Yeah.
I sort of like between her and Harlan Ellison. It's like I just talk about things that have happened in my life or things that happened a week before and how I view them. And many people have said that should be a book. The other thing that I'm thinking of writing is a combination science fiction short story book with recipes.
Nice. I love it.
My writing is pretty important. Heather Cox
now it's
Richardson
out in the universe, Vance. So
Heather, I know, right? Hey, Banjo, your mom just wrote in.
Yeah, Cox Richardson. And it looks like Craig and Jocelyn did too. So
Yeah, yeah,
our
yeah.
people are helping us out here.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank
they
you.
are.
With our Friday brain.
And your mom sent me money too. But Miss Stanley, you don't have to do that. But I'm not sending it back.
Well, I do. This is actually the perfect opportunity to mention that maybe you should send Vance some money, because I had a little birdie told me that you are starting to raise funds for your next album.
I started fundraising 3 hours ago.
Whoa,
And
all right.
yeah, so and I'm confident. I know I'll make what I need to make. And anybody that donates to the album, if they donate $1 to $10,000, your name ends up on the cover. My artist hates that. my art director Jane hates that, because I put everybody's name on there. People who donate 1,000 or above, they end up as executive producers in black at the top. But everybody else's name, you can find it alphabetically on the cover, and that's how I keep it.
That's amazing. And you mentioned
Yeah.
that rather than a fundraising platform, you just can go right to his PayPal
No.
or his
Yeah,
Venmo.
You go right to me.
And we've got that scrolling. Yeah, no middle person there taking the money away. It's
Right,
all
or
going to the
or
record.
if you don't make your the other thing is, people with those platforms, if you don't make your minimum, it goes away. What is that? What kind of a that's like
mean.
that guy that Hitman guy is at your house for that kind of loan. You know what? So
Oh, well, definitely help fund Vance's next record, and we also want to see what happens with those books. So, but he can only do that if he can keep cooking. He can't make the cookbooks without the food. So, fuel up. And we also got a question from Chris earlier, which I want to make sure to get to, because I had a similar question about your album cover for this.
yeah, the album cover is what? Let me see. Let's see if I remember what's on it. Yeah. All of those pictures of me, except for the one in the center, is my dad during World War II.
So many Vances.
Yes. All, they're all me. And that one on the back is me too. So yeah. They're all me. And yeah, that Jane Hallman, who is a great art director in her own right. Her husband is Tom Hallman, who is a art director, artist for book covers, and he's done a lot of Stephen King and a lot of people's. You've seen his covers. Let's put it that way. When you go through the airport and you look at the stack, I would say 1% to 10% of the art covers there are his. So, and he's one of my best friends. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, again, we are getting close on time, believe it or not. I don't know where this hour has gone.
I
know,
know.
I
This should be
know.
a 2-hour episode.
It
Well, no,
should
right?
be.
we should probably just pick one song now. Is that how we should do?
Yeah, probably. So do we want to do the day before November?
Yeah, let's do that. Just as you're pulling that up, the other one is a solo version of the 70s hit Wildflower. And I'm trying to remember who wrote who originally did the tune. Now I'm got doo-doo for brains. But yeah, it's
Well, you have to buy the album.
Folks in the comments have been really good about filling us in. So
yeah.
we're looking
Okay,
at
Craig.
you, Craig.
Skylark. That's the name of the group. Skylark from Canada.
Nice.
Yeah.
Originally did that tune with a young guy at the helm of that a band. His name was David Foster, and Donnie Gerard was the lead singer, who just died a couple weeks ago. So, but I want you to hear The Day Before November because it also shows more of my wacky roundedness. So let's do that.
We like the wacky here on Back Catalog.
Yeah, and again, we already sent along that link about purchasing this record. So if you want to hear Wildflower, you go get yourself a copy, and you'll hear the rest of the tracks on the album. But now we're going to listen to The Day Before November. This is Vance Gilbert here on the Back Catalog Listening Party.
'Cause we were brown and tall, Jew and small, freckled, fat, buck-toothed, flat, black and broken, short and Christian, with teeth and hair in every direction. We were 20 different ways on how to pitch or catch a ball, but the day before November was the best day of the fall. Now, little Mikey Lundy had a dad who beat him daily for nothing anyone could ever put their finger on. As if he needed reason, it was always open season on Mikey when he came home late to all the whiskey gone. Now, little Mike was specially keen to be the Hulk at Halloween, 'cause he could wear a suit of green and hide the cuts and bruises. Hell, for one night we could all just be just what we wanted to be most. Robber, princess, vampire, ghost, whatever our muses chooses. 'Cause we were brown and tall, Jew and small, freckled, fat, buck-toothed, flat, black and broken, short and Christian, with teeth and hair in every direction. We were 20 different views on which superhero had it all, but the day before November was the best day of the fall. Now, the older boys would spin us stories of Miller's Field and of a man that crossed old Mr. Miller and then disappeared from sight. And if you squint, the street light on the corner of 5th and Mason cast a 10-foot scarecrow shadow guarding Miller's Field at night. But that didn't stop the older boys from laying flaming bags of poop on old man Miller's front porch stoop and then doing the knock and run. We'd see a leg come from behind the door and stomp it out, and that is all we ever saw of old man Miller as long as we were young. 'Cause we were brown and tall, Jew and small, freckled, fat, buck-toothed, flat, black and broken, short and Christian, with teeth and hair in every direction. We were 20 different crayon shades should Crayola come to call, but the day before November was the best day of the fall. Now, we hated the candy apples that the Gormans dropped into our bag. They gummed up all the other stuff with their icky, sticky splatter. So Mikey's big idea, of course, let's leave them on old Miller's porch. Shout, trick or treat, stinky feet, and then bang the door and scatter. So here he was with 4'3" and braver than both you and me, tiptoeing with 10 apples on their dirty bamboo skewers. He rapped that door and how he flew, the fastest 4-foot Hulk we knew, abandoning those treats of goo and all murderous pursuers. 'Cause we were brown and tall, Jew and small, freckled, fat, buck-toothed, flat, black and broken, short and Christian, with teeth and hair in every direction. We were 20 ways to slap the side of pinballs at the mall, but the day before November was the best day of the fall. As Halloweening slowed its pace and we'd visited every neighbor's door, we snuck past old man Miller's place and the apples weren't there anymore. So one by one with pillowcases, booty filled and chocolate faces, we peeled off from our group for home to make our stomachs sore. The next day on the bus, we tallied peanut butter cups and raisinets and good and plenty when Mikey shrugged and said, "My father never came back home." And we said nothing. We just kept blowing bazooka bubbles and chewing peanut M&Ms instead. The days grew warm and we hit the bikes in shorts and T-shirts, and so did Mike. The only bruise still on that tyke was just above his shoe, where a pedal caught him on the shin, jumping a curb and a banana seat schwinn. That shaver made us all seem braver with all his daring do. He smiled a whole lot more since then, but he never saw his dad again, and speculation has it that that bird just up and flew. But if you pass by Miller's Field at night and squint at that 5th and Mason light, you'd swear where there was once one scarecrow, now there's clearly two. 'Cause we were brown and tall, Jew and small, freckled, fat, buck-toothed, flat, black and broken, short and Christian, with teeth and hair in every direction. We were 100 different hopes and dreams spray-painted on God's wall, but the day before November was the best day of the fall.
All right, Vance Gilbert, the day before November, and what a great track.
I'm pretty proud of that. I didn't realize the birds were there all the way through. I forgot.
I love that. I love
Did
that.
you record the ambient noise there? Was that from your neighborhood? Or?
The ambient noises are mixes of the kids running was public domain stuff, because you can get in trouble just like recording kids and putting that on there. But the birds in the backyard was my engineer, Sam Margolis of Riverview Sound over here in Watertown. He took some equipment out in the yard on a spring night and recorded those birds and mix those two things together, and we weave them in and out, and that's where we are.
Powerful stuff. And
Yeah,
everybody
man.
out there agrees.
Yeah.
I'm very. It's my best work. It's my best work, and damn this pandemic, because it took the time from it that should have been.
Well, we're grateful we got the chance to listen to these tracks.
Oh,
with
you
you
folks,
today, Vance.
what a blast! You guys sitting there like doing the Chris Farley. That was cool. Dude, that was cool. You guys are the bomb.
Well, it's
This is
easy.
great.
It's easy when it really is that good. So
Yeah.
such a
man.
treat.
I want to hear
Thank
all the other tracks on this record. If you do too.
It's not arrogant. It's just technically, musically, artistically, it's a great album. I love this album. I love this album. It is all the other albums pointed to this. I mean, they have something in their own right, I would imagine, for whatever they are. But this album was my Rubicon. It really was, in so many ways.
Yeah, and this is such a great album, and it does encapsulate so many facets of what you do and who you are, that I think it's a great entree for anyone who maybe is not familiar with your music. And David asked a question that I'm happy to answer before we take off here. I missed how we get in on the sourcing of the new album. I'm assuming he means the supporting of the new album. And yes, you can just go to PayPal and say it's for the new album, and it will go towards that. So I hope you all support that and throw some money Vance's way, because we want to hear what's next. I mean, where does he go from this album?
Well,
where will Vance go?
Miss Burnham here. No question, you're doing a book, so I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to read that.
Oh my God, I just can't imagine the stick-to-itiveness to do a book. That's gonna be.
You got it.
Oh,
you got
man.
this. It's out there in the universe now.
Oh
I
man,
know.
we're
We're gonna call you up in a month.
There's
and
a
see
lot
how
of
it's
rice.
going.
That's a lot of rice cakes dribbled on my keyboard to do this book. Man.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today for this really fun hour of music and conversation. And this is why we do this.
My God, what a wonderful setting, you folks! You folks are the feces. You are just seriously. This is so much fun.
That's going on the website.
We are the feces.
Let's do it. Let's do this shit next week with another one of my albums. Come on now. Come
You
on
did notice
now.
you had a very prolific career so far, and there's lots of albums. So we 100% can't wait to get you back on here.
Oh, baby,
That
it
was
would
an
be my
amazing-
pleasure.
Amazing.
It would be my
hour.
pleasure.
And we should remind everyone who's tuned in, if this is your first time here, that we do this every Friday, not always with Vance, sadly, but every Friday at 4 p.m. Central, we have different guest artists revisiting old records, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel to find out what's happening next. And also like it if you liked the episode, give us a thumbs up. So more bots will go to Vance Gilbert, which we like this way. I never know how this works. And we also want to thank all the Patreon supporters. These are the folks that have allowed us to keep this thing going long past when we thought we'd be doing this. So these
It's
are the
phenomenal.
folks that said, "Oh yeah, we want you to keep doing this, even as you start to play shows. We want you to, make sure you carve out Friday at 4 to do this." So. Anyway, of course, I missed the beginning of this. It's going to come around again, so I can say everyone's names. But we want to also thank Vance for joining us today.
Thank you,
This is the
Vance.
big one.
I won't hit the applause button. Oh,
Oh, and we want to thank Penny, Ann, Alinda, Bevan, Connie, Vaughn, Alan, Chris, Alex, Becky, Galen, Peggy, Joe, Jim, Beverly, John, Fred, Tim, Sarah, David, Jocelyn, Court, Matt, Steve, Mark, Homestead Pick and Parlor. Oh, we love them. And Severin, Lynn, Craig, and Jake. Thank you all so much. And if you want to get in on supporting the Patreon, we're going to have a big celebration for our 100th episode. Our 100th episode is coming up.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a big party. So if you're a Patreon supporter, you'll get a special invite to a Zoom after party following our 100th episode. So, but thank you all for being here. This is why
thank
we
you.
do this.
And thanks again, Vance. The
Well,
music
good.
and art and,
Oh,
and
well, you can-
all
the
this stuff
pledge-
is what gets us through this.
Anthony Ihrig, the pleasure was all yours. Sister ukulele, whatever your name is. Thank you for. I thought you were black people, but I'm just glad. I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce Anthony's name. Anthony. You guys. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
You. This was a lot of fun, and
All right.
Just what we needed this week. And we will see all of you back next week for another edition of the Back Catalog Listening Party. And check out Vance's Pajama Party Monday night on YouTube.
yeah. Thanks everybody. We'll see you next week here on the Back Catalog Listening Party. Cheers.
Cheers.